Hello everybody, it's me Rumpus. Today is May 9th, 2022. I'm getting very good at, I didn't even see, on the top of my computer, I now have it set right, so it actually says, that's helpful. It was wrong for the longest time because I don't really care, and I usually use my phone or something for these, when the date is being set. I'm doing this again in public. I don't really need to, but I'm getting a bunch of stuff done this morning, and this is part of me being out and getting stuff done. General, catch everybody up. In case you haven't been poking in, and I put some stuff on Instagram and on Facebook, but I haven't been updating here, which I've got some cool stuff to put up, but the plan, as I had said a while back, I believe on here, but I know other places, but the plan was go to Portugal. Never seen Portugal or Spain, so do a bunch of Portugal, then go to Spain, do a bunch of Spain, then work my way into France where I could get my booster shot, and then continue eastward, and eventually end up in Berlin for a concert. And because it's a good place to fly out of, jacked up the ankle in Porto. Thank goodness I had spent time, exploring and enjoying Lisbon. I had gone up to Braga already and spent a day there. It's a really small place. Gorgeous though. Adorable. And I've got a video. The video should be up here. I ought to check, but if it's not, I'll throw it up. But I think it's up here. It's just a little night walk thing. So I went, because I was going to go up to Braga, and then work my way down the country, and then Uber, and I got to Porto, and me and the stair didn't really align properly, so I went down hard and twisted the ankle that always likes to twist. They both aren't too stable, but there's one favorite that likes to go a lot. And that totally fucked up my plans. I spent a tremendous amount of time in Lisbon just sitting. I couldn't, go out and do and have fun and look around. I was just trapped, basically. I could, some days I could go out and, do a little bit. Other days, no go. So I spent a couple weeks or something just being unhappy, trapped in 2 rooms of a hostel, not counting pee breaks. But during that time, I did get to see a friend that I haven't seen in 16 years. But thanks to the power of the internet, we have kept aware of each other and in contact, connected through the power of the internet with Facebook, which I don't love Facebook, but it has its uses. More than once it's kept me in touch with a friend. My lifestyle takes me where I don't see people for extended periods, and, so it's everybody is on Facebook, so I got to see her, and that was really great. We went out the first night and had that first we haven't seen each other in forever. And at first it was a little and then it got comfortable and we jibber jabbered and had coffee. And then the next night, me and her mom all went out to dinner together and a Fado concert thing. And her mom, I have a vague memory of. She remembers me more clearly from what I can tell, but my memory of her isn't very good, but I remembered liking her. And sure enough, lovely woman, I really liked her. So my memory was on. That was a lovely night, and I found out that, at least that's the way that I took it, from the way she phrased it, Sandra had been so if you want to go to this, dinner photo thing with me and my mom? Don't mention it again for a while. It's an idea. not much in a while. And like, I was a little unsure. I'm like, am I invited, or am I kind of not invited, or I don't know how she feels about this. But I'm gonna go with the fact that I'm invited because I'll just bring it up and say, oh yeah, contact me about it, tomorrow. And through our chatting, because I mean, she knew what I was like back in the day, and that hasn't really changed. Uh, Especially with the stuff that I put on Facebook that keeps that updated. She was being really super sweet about like, at one point she was like, yeah, I kind of had the feeling that you may or may not show, be able, was basically she's, expressed that she knew how I am and that I may or may not have the ability, the personhood to be spoons to come and do. So she was being like super sweet, but I was like, I'm gonna go do this, man. It'll be fun, and it was. It was wonderful fun. It was a great time. Um, Still stuck in Lisbon. This timing fucked up all my plans. I never got to see, down through the south of Lisbon, both the cities, and they were like little towns and the villages and stuff. I wanted to like really, you know, uh, and because Portugal is one of those countries that I'm very seriously considering settling in when I settle. It's a delightful country. Um, but it meant that with my scheduling, with balancing Schengen days and the stuff that I had planned coming up, I had to move my ass across Europe. So I didn't get to see any of Spain. I've seen none of Spain. Before it was like I never saw Spain or Portugal. France was like where it stopped. And now it's like I just hopped over Spain. So that's a goal. But what I did was I went to Paris for a few days and like maybe a week, and I got my my booster on my birthday. So that was my present to me. The U.S. doesn't so much care, but I don't live in the U.S. But a lot of places in Europe and other places are getting where if it's been like 270 months out from your second shot, you need to have a secondary shot because you're not considered fully vaccinated. I'm like, it's been a while since my second shot. I mean, I got like my shot later than like the majority of humans I know because, frankly, after some personal experiences with rushed and vaccines that got cleared, I was more than a little hesitant. So I was like, I think it's a good idea, but I love you and I'm going to see what happens to you. And guinea pig didn't work out well, so I was like, all right. And I needed my booster. I went and got my booster because, like I said, I'm not in the U.S. I'm in other countries. And specifically, this year I'm going to be spending a lot of time back in Europe because there were plans before the C word, BC, that, included South America, and then, like, this year, areas that are not wise, that used to be part of the USSR, and, like, I was going to be seeing a bunch more of the world, but with COVID, I ended up spending a lot of time in Thailand, and then a lot of time in Serbia, and that kind of moved all of my plans for Europe into this year. So, like, again, the COVID years kind of, it chopped off my plans for these other places. I'm going back to these other places. I'm like trying to see everything that I can, but plans are messed up. So I'm working with the new plans. So I got my booster in Paris. The guy actually was asking me like, "So what are your Paris for?" I'm like, "This." He's like, "Fair enough." And I have two friends that I met online during COVID. One of them has a reaction channel. Um, Jamie Briggs, check out his stuff. Very fun, very nice guy. It's a good channel. He's recently restarted it, and stuff's getting uploaded, and he's doing new stuff to include Barry. If you see this, okay, sorry for the weird cut, but I'm in public, and while you can hear background noise, and there was a lot of really loud background noise from there. Anyway, back to where I was. Check out his reaction channel. But anyway, he had one back in COVID days when I was in Thailand, and I enjoyed the YouTube clips. So I went on the Patreon, and like he and another lady, Annabelle, we had met through that, like watch-alongs and interacting on the Patreon and everything. You know how you do. And so we got to be friends online, and it was great. And we were doing what friends do, the text and blah 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 online. And I was in Paris, and I'm like, well, I gotta get me some new bras. I've been talking about this forever, but each year I usually go to London once. Edinburgh also has a store, but generally I pop through London once to get proper bras because I'm a little in doubt whether I am pudgy like right now, my ass is twice the size it should be, or I am foamy. The smallest they give is a double G, double H, depending on the bra. Right now, found out through a fitting, I thought my rib band, size would go up. Rib band size hasn't gone up. I'm up to a J now. So, my ass is twice the size, and I've grown a cup size. But it was wonderful because, I've been BSing with Annabelle about, hey, let's go get some bras. She's, well endowed as well. And curvy little thing. And so I was like, I'm coming up. Annabelle, you live near London. Jamie, you live kind of close to London. Close enough to London this way. We've talked about, seeing each other. I'm going to be up there. Let's do this thing. Rock it. And so A and I went and got bras, and the first day it was just she and me. We spent half a day bullshitting and walking around, had lunch and all that. And you know how it is when you first meet somebody in person. It's a little awkward, but also I found it really comfortable too, which I was relieved because it could have been just awkward, when you meet somebody in person. So lovely time. And then next day, met Jamie. We did basically the same thing. Spent the day, had a meal and walked around, bullshitted and stuff. And again, a little awkward at first. Well, a little awkward the whole time, just like with Annabelle. A little nerdy, but terribly fun at the same time. A and J are. I was very happy to find out that my online friends turned out to be lovely and human, and I look forward to seeing them again sometime when I'm in London again. But I got a lot of new bras. I stocked up. Because during COVID time, I couldn't get any. I went 3 years with 2 bras that fit, and then just whatever I could buy. And those 2 bras were not in good shape after that long. So I've got 3 or 4 with me, and then I ordered some that are going to my mail company, or maybe to my mail company. And yeah, so I spent a shit ton of money on bras, but I got bras for days. So a bunch of you might want to skip that. I realized that I should have said that to begin with, but that's a key part of my life. Let's see. Okay, spend time with them. Bummed around London. Couldn't do too much because my ankle was still quite moody. So one day I'd be like, oh, not too bad, I just have to baby it. And then I'd be like, oh. And but it's getting better overall. Just not as fast as one would hope. So I spent about a week there. Came on down to Berlin. I've been here again like a week or so, about 3 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks. Because I had, when I was in Serbia, there was, because I have my own like opinion channel on top of my personal traveling blog here, which is, there's been like music reactions primarily on it, but that's not its purpose. It's just somewhere for me to just say whatever the fuck I want. There's just been a lot of music reactions because that's a lot of fun. And I've found or been introduced to bands that I never knew about that I'm like, oh. And one of them was Rosriana Spears she's on like this mission. And she pointed me towards a band called Aesthetic Perfection. And I saw one video that she had told me about, and I'm like, oh, I'm a Julian, so I'm gonna like just jump and like try another. Hopped over there in the next video, and I was like, in my happy way that I get, because it was like, it was modern, new wave, synth sort of stuff, both of them were, and it's like the industrial, it's the top end of industrial. It moves to the spectrum, his work, depending on where the song is. But these were both very in the synthwave, new wave, but modern areas. And as an 80s developing child, it hits me in the core real hard. And the next day, I had ordered tickets for the Berlin show. I had seen it in a video. I was on Patreon. I was like, I have found another artist that's officially on my list of favorites. I have, everybody has that list of like, I can just throw it in the good playlist. And it's like, mix this through. And so far I haven't found a sucky song. Or at least, what for me, I'm like, I found one that wouldn't go on my playlist, even though I like it. But all the rest of them, like, totally playlist. So I came over to Berlin after London, which was the trip from Lisbon goal. It was a small venue. I got there very early. My ankle is still fucked up. We're talking at this point from Lisbon to Paris to London to Berlin. This totaled more than 30 hours or so, maybe a bit more, of bus sleeping in like bus station. Okay, cut again because it's extra noise. And then concerted. It was very fun. I had a really great time. I had to take my migraine meds beforehand because it was a human outing. So I had to take my migraine meds, anxiety meds, basically my coping with outing meds. And once I had gotten there, I was like, ooh, fuck. That's it. We're just straight gonna take pain meds for the ankle because otherwise we ain't gonna make it through this. And even though it was wrapped and everything, and I was favoring my right hand side, being careful, but still, you're at a concert, even if it is a small venue. But I'm going to be adding, as part of this channel, some video clips and some still images, and some links to some, another person actually put like a few full songs that they've recorded, in the Linky Loos below. It was so much fun. It really was. I had a great time. I was supposed to like meet a person there, and then there were like other people that recognized me, because they're on the Discord and stuff with being a Patreon patron, on the Patreon. But afterwards, my ankle was, and I was just, so I just, I did get a before concert, and it's just a basic gray and black protection t-shirt. So my t-shirt collection has something more interesting added into it, because we've talked before about the limitations when you live out of a backpack, how much clothing you can carry. And you need stuff that kind of can like mix and match and so simple gray and black. It's very cool looking, and it fits really good because I got the size that'll fit the. But that makes the length like halfway down my thighs. So it makes for a good just general t-shirt. It makes good for a like shorty dress to wear with like tights, or like a look with leggings, you know. And living in hostels, it works great for when it's a nightgown. I can walk down to the bathroom, as I have many a times, along with another blue travel t-shirt. Okay, I had to make sure I had my shirt right side out because I've done that like 3 days in the past 2 weeks. So I got a change up in shirt. The opening band was a band called Empathy Test, who I'm going to be mixing into the Opinions channel. Hadn't heard them before. Badass as well. Had a great time. I was standing in front of one of the two speakers on the stage, facing forward for the bands, and I had put my both hands on the edge of the concert on the stage for the concert, so that I could feel the vibrations. And we've talked before about the ears, and my fingertips felt different, and they were definitely getting kind of squished. And through the process of noticing things, I realized that the bass from Empathy Test was moving that speaker backwards towards the edge of the stage. So, at first I was like moving my fingers, expecting it to stop, and then I realized it's not going to stop when the edge of it started coming off. So I'm like, every once in a while, I'm just discreetly going, or because it was heavy. To like move it ahead 3 inches, move it ahead 5 inches, keep that fucker on the stage. Which was humorous to me, but still that could have been an issue. But it was a fun idea how fun the bass was. But yeah, they were very good. So afterwards, very quickly, I flipped over, and I hoped there were t-shirts, but there weren't. So I got a pin, and the lead singer was there, and I can't project well with my voice unless I'm like screaming or singing. So the poor merchandise guy was like, huh? I'm like trying to like over the crowd talking like, and finally, like I said, the lead singer of Empathy Test was like, he came over and he's like, what? And finally, I just like yelled, I'm like, oh, pen! And the merchandise guy was like, oh, okay, And smartass singer is like, oh, we don't have pens, we have pins. And I'm like, you British asshole. In the playful way. He was being a smartass. I was being a smartass. And I told him, hey, I hadn't heard you guys before, loved it, wonderful. And so I've got my Empathy Test pin. I came out of it with a new awesome t-shirt. I came out of it with a new awesome pin. I now have the Ladonia pin. I have an Empathy Test pin. and I have my Delta Plus pin on my vape pack thing. So it's getting decorated. Um, so I did manage to screw up my ankle some more that night, even though like I kept my primary weight on the other one, but it's a concert. Um, so that was that night. Uh, oh, I've been collecting when I've had the opportunity and the wherewithal to especially when I'm walking around trying to find cool ones or interesting, whatever. Some postcards for Bryn because she likes that kind of thing, and some places I haven't been able to find the right place to get something, And so I've got some that I need to mail out, which they're not going to be mailed out from the countries because I couldn't figure out where the fucking post office was. But I found the post office on the way to my antigen place that I need the antigen test to go to the U.S., even though I'm 3 times vaccinated, which doesn't really make sense since other countries are doing better than the U.S. But the U.S. from the start has considered other countries not doing as well as them. It's been funny watching like the State Department updates and then seeing like the world stats and stuff. It's been like, but so I gotta do that too. So I'm gonna like walk around, send out postcards, walk around, get my antigen test, and then walk back and do my packing, get ready, blah 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 blah. But I think that's the end of it. I'm in Berlin tomorrow. For the first time, I am going back to the U.S. since COVID happened, which means the last time that I was in the United States was 2019. So it's been like 3 years since I've seen my loved ones. And not loved ones, but friends. To clarify, I have friends and family who are loved ones, and then I have friends. We all have that. That's that line where it's like, so it's like I'm gonna get to see people. But I'm just doing like 1 month, get in, spend time, go to the annual reunion of a bunch of my family that the event is finally taking place because it can, and then spending a few more days and get the hell out because I don't want to be in the United States. I want to see the people that I care about. I want to go to the event. I've got stuff that is only really doable in any really functional, convenient, normal manner in the United States. So that's not a problem too with the COVID thing. So I'm gonna do those things while I get to see the people I care about. But yeah, tomorrow, get on a flight. Because of how time zones work, I'm gonna get there tomorrow, just at a forward time. And then I'll be in the States for 1 month, and then I hop back out to Berlin, and then I head down to Serbia to visit some friends there, and then I'm going to be spending a month in the woods, training at a hostel where there's in the mountains. There are a lot of hiking trails. I'll fill y'all in later on that part because it's getting really long. But that's for the 9 Megan walk that I've talked about. I'll talk about the rest of this year's plan as things come up. But that's been my year so far and what's going to be starting tomorrow. That's kind of a condensed summary. I left important things out. I left a lot of not important things out. You already heard a lot of not important things. But I just want to kind of give an update of randoms, few key points, because I don't talk a lot here. And I haven't been talking directly very well recently with a lot of people I care about. Uh, Whatever designation they are, level of friend and family, you know. So it's just I'm having spoon issues, I'm having human issues, but going back to the US is weird. Not seeing the people that I care about and like. I'll snip that out for another video later. How that's become a complex social and emotional. But so that's tomorrow. I'm hopping across the Atlantic for a while. For the first time in 3 years. And I also have had epic sagas with a doctor in Belgrade and another one here in Germany, which wasn't as bad, but was still complicated. Trust me, the Belgrade one was interesting. The German one was difficult but totally reasonable. She did her job. Cool beans. Rock that, right? So that's been kind of a trip. But outside of those things, that is all the key things to let y'all know about at the moment. If I think of other things, I'll throw other stuff up. If I have cool stuff along the way, I'll share it. This has gone on too long. So goodbye, Berlin. I'll be speaking to you again, either from the US or back in Serbia. Ta-da! From what I understand, the hostel up in the mountain in Serbia does not have, internet. I don't know if my Dumaflachi will work and they don't have, the Wi-Fi thing at the hostel or anything. I don't know if it'll catch cell signal or not. But you can go to a nearby thingy and get it. But I'll be effectively just in the woods for close to a month, so you won't be hearing from me at all, which is not really a big deal because I go forever between these updates anyway. But I just thought it'd be neat to tell you that that's a portion of why. So, I'm finally ending this because I'm rambling and I got stuff to do. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye to all my deltas and whoever else who bothers to watch this.